Greetings everyone, please come on and make sure everything's set on up. Looks like everything's booted on up. Give me another moment to check my other computers. Oh, I need to do that as well. So activate the live chat windows. And give me another moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and find a replay. Let's see now. 14 minutes too short. 21 minutes too short. 35 seconds, perfect. 21 minutes a little bit too short. 17's too short. 16's too short. 20 is too short. 23, you can do that one if I have trouble finding another one. Here we go. 33. A quick code peruse, don't touch the custom maps, everything else seems from previous week, so let's do this one. On a rocky river. Sorry, I'm adjusting my microphone, and I think everything's good to go. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn bottom right side as the pink Absid Dynasty, we have Liquid Demu. Spawn top left side as Magenta Ottomans, we got L, Louis, MT. It's been a while since the last seen Absid Dynasty, and I can't remember all of the balance changes that happened to them. I didn't think there was too many. I think there was some small buffs here and there, but mostly just making some certain research costs less, if I remember correctly from the last patch. But either way, of course, both players have access to improve. Actually, no, Ottomans do not have access to improved berries, just have normal berries, so it's best for them to collect the sheeple. Well, the berry pushes here does provide more food, and actuality, he's going for a decent amount of extra wood here, isn't he? Is Pink eyeing for a spearman rush? You only need 50 wood to get the House of Wisdom, so what is he eyeing right now? Sorry, I'm a little bit confused. I see something going on, and I'm not exactly sure what. And for a reference point, the Ottoman player has enough resources to age up with the Sultani Trade Network. This map would be good for going for those free traders to actually do a bit of trading, or could just use it for the extra free gold income. Gold mine there. He is collecting up a decent amount of extra wood. I guess. I wasn't playing exactly the build order. Guess we'll save up for extra wood, the lumber camp. And he is still collecting up quite a bit of wood now. Has 3 villagers on wood. His opponent just now put 2 villagers on food. So we got. I'm trying to think what's going on. I just noticed this, and I understand Kilroy's getting another house. But in comparison to his opponent, he spent the initial wood, of course, on the additional housing, and has the age up for quite a sizable head advantage. He's not even started the age up. That's the part I'm still really confused about. Military wing's not complete, so got a pretty late military wing. Seeing his opponent has gone for an age up, he's collecting up some wood now. Bring back a good number of sheeple there. 15. Wait. I missed this, didn't I? Big time. So focused in town center, I forgot the fact there's also some fish deposit in the middle. Okay, that explains where all the wood was going. My apologies, I completely missed that. Going for 2 fishing boats there. There are 2 short fish on each wood. This is quite an investment. It is, of course, 150 wood for the dock, and, of course, 75 per boat. So 300 wood investment per puddle to get out a short burst of food collection. The shore fish, I think, collects at the same rate as deer when collected by fishing boats, right? So this is effectively 4 fishing boats on deer. Sorry, I completely missed that part. And the Autumn player has not punished this whatsoever. In fact, the Autumn player is going for the professional scouts. Magenta spots this now, and Pink has not aged up. Pink got very lucky that Purple did not try to rush him down, anything of that sort. Now he sees this. Professional scouts almost researched, so yeah, I really do think Pink got a little bit lucky. Definitely needs the initial free units here, the 2 spearmen, 2 archers, but also help out with fighting against professional scouts. Though in this part of the map, there's a bunch of small deer deposits. And barracks and stable there. I was just so focused on this, trying to figure out what he's doing. Is he going for a spearman rush? I completely skipped my mind the fact that you can go for docks. In which part of me wonders if it was better to go for economic and then save up for... Does the dock count as fertile for get cost reduction for Fertile Crescent? Nope, either way, what is done is done. The Autumn player has not got enough Vizier points, hardly got any Vizier points now yet for Vizier summoning. Magenta or Purple is picking up some venison in the center of the map, bringing it back on home. Had a good deposit sheep there. In fact, Pink has a good amount of sheep as well, 14. I know Purple dropped off 15, which probably means, of course, the initial stuff. Purple definitely did better in the sheep game. Got a round of basic spearmen here, not from Military Academy, all from a barracks. Hardened spearmen's on the way for Pink. Purple's already got hardened spearmen. Dropped a deer right there, which is not too big an issue, can always be picked up and brought forward later. Golden Age Tier 1 is active, giving one of the most powerful economic benefits of the entire game, plus 15% for all resources. Available at generally as Age 2, could be grabbed in Age 1. If your opponent went for housing rather than docks, which might actually be a bit more effective. Somebody could break down the numbers. I don't feel like trying to break down those numbers off the top of my head. But that could have been better than 2 docks and 2 fishing boats. Because it's effectively 4 additional villagers, 4 additional good villagers. Put an asterisk on that. Ink's falling back there, could stab some of the sheeple there. I think it's going for a stab there, but having trouble. The sheep is moving at a rate of the same move speed as a spearman. And they're not getting any combat sprints, though they're shouting like they got a combat sprint. Looks like the first Vizier point was the 2 imams. Oh, I guess he had 3 out of 100 experience, but just had to actually select the Vizier. I'm an idiot. And again, I did miss this part as well. But the first shore deposit almost cleaned up. Airoships are still pretty effective against ground units, so this will be a successful defense with the airship. Going for a strike on the Imams, which does provide some AoE healing. The Scout and Spearman going for Imams as well. Trying to get rid of that advantage that he has selected early on, but they're just running away. Now the Scout won't be able to defeat them. And Pink may focus on the Imams a little bit too hard. The fishing boat, or not fishing boat, the archer ship does have, of course, a AoE health regen from the dock, making it very difficult to displace with archers and spearmen. Going back to the plus 15% effective villagers aspect I was theorizing earlier. Roughly by the time the player, the Abstinency aged up, he had 20 villagers. He built a silly second house, so we're just going to do a nice, easy mathematical 20 villagers. At 50% increase effectiveness, 20 villagers is effectively 23 villagers. So that was 3 villagers more advantage, but then again, these fishing boats are still active, well beyond the Golden Year Tier 1, and now we've got the Age 2 also being researched, going further for Economic Wing Fertile Crescent, as well as queued up Boot Camp. Now has access to various research, including the very powerful composite bows, in which, against Ottoman, the composite bow upgrade should be pretty nice, as Ottomans tend to go heavy in Janissaries, as well as Sipahi, so you have a counter to one of the 2 core units of the Ottomans. The other core unit, of course, Sipahi, would be countered. We'll counter the same archers as well. Got quite a bit of units there. The best unit that now Pink could deploy on the field would probably be Man-at-Arms. Lancers wouldn't be half bad as well, seeing that he's also fighting against a good number Spearmen, but Age 2 Spearmen can fall off versus Age 3, Castle Age Knights and Lancers. But I still think Man-at-Arms would, of course, be a good solid counter to the situation. Does have +1 damage, so need to get +1 armor to fully effectively going down from 2 damage to 1 damage, is still pretty good. Also, Boot Camp as well is a cheaper alternative, which also gives him a decent amount of extra health. Granted, there won't be Man-at-Arms, so Ghiloms, that's right, and Absids and Ghiloms are anti-low armored units. So they'll be better in that situation, albeit more expensive. Ottoman players now gone has researched the Akunji, the DPS Horse Archer, which these archers should still be adequately fine. I think the Kunji, yeah, they still have pretty low health. These are, of course, Age 2 ones. Most Age 2 Horse Archers have around, what, 85 health is what Magidai have, so they have a little bit more health, making them a little bit more durable than Magidai. While offering roughly the same DPS as well, and probably just a little bit less since the attack speed is actually still pretty slow. Abstinency does a good core of archers, has 1 Gilom in the field. Basic round of walls there to help protect this flank. Mahid Imperial Army now being researched by the Ottoman player. Does have +1 damage on the veteran archer. Of course, Boot Camp makes it a little bit more healthy. In comparison, you can see here 8 damage, 92 health, 95 health, 8 damage times 2, and a pretty slow attack speed. That said, Pink has gone for the aggressiveness. Doesn't have composite bows research, shall see. Oh, got some more professional scouts. And we'll scout out this force, murdering him. Of course, Pink doesn't have too much vision with those archers, just okay vision. Veteran Horseman or Sipahi research on the way for the Ottoman player. Of course, we are seeing some of the free Mangonels being deployed on the field, which should be a good counter to the composite bowmen. So the Ottoman does have good counters to these advanced Abbasid Dynasty archers. More Ghiloms being deployed on the field. And Purple has picked up those 3 relics of those 2 free Imams. Pink, even though it had a faster cast age, has some Imams in the field, but has not claimed any relics or picked up any. Veteran Akinji, or however you pronounce that, is being researched. They do use the Turkish Horse Archer animators. That was from the Ayyubid campaign. 3 Ghiloms in the field. Only 1 in that formation, however. veteran archer now being reached by the Ottoman player. In pink or purple, the Ottoman player has not deployed a Metro just yet, has one queued on up. That could be from Military Academy, but don't... Yeah, it doesn't look like magenta has, or purple has, a Military Academy on the field just yet. Lastly, shorefish being cleaned on up. So the small economic advantage that the Abstinency has sought for is starting to dry up. Though so has the Golden Age Tier 1, which is one of the most powerful economic benefits I'm putting in the game. I probably put too much emphasis on that, but I generally do believe it's one of the most powerful economic benefits. 50% on all resources is immensely powerful. As I mentioned, seeing the farm upgrades only applied 10% rather than 15% makes it also his farmers particularly effective. Elon getting ripped apart there, getting hit pretty hard. These guys do have higher base damage, so they have piece of armor better than, say, Magudai. Plus a burst 2 times to attack. It looks like we do have composite bowman research now. Some of those as well, those secondary arrows seem like they missed the Palisade Gate. Pink has a sizable force there trying to cut off this army. Does take a scout there, which is somewhat important. Sipahi hitting some of these composite bowmen. A couple of Gilams push forward. Gilams, of course, do have a charge attack as well. Does take out that composite bowman. Takes the Metro as well, very nice. Right now they have some destroyed values with similar civilian kill counts, but most of the kill counts from Magenta is the deleted fishing boats. We do now have the Advanced Academy researched. And the Sultani trade network, I just have a good feeling he's going to go for trade bags. He has 2 remaining Vizier points. Phalanx have been researched. This was actually nerfed last time I cast Abstinency, so no longer the spear wall gets affected by the increased tower range, which is honestly something that probably shouldn't have had. Because beforehand the spear wall was able to like reach over between other spearmen. It was something a little bit ludicrous. Got 2 Mangonels in his formation. Golden Age Tier 2 now complete. Now it gets faster research, which is not important. These Mangonels being stoned to death. Airship firing away. Does take a volley there for the Kinji with a higher base damage, able to really get some good damage on the arrow ship. And the Abstinency does have a decent amount of resource stockpiled up, so Abstinency player maybe eyeing for an age up relatively soon. The other player has deployed out an army. Right now it has almost double the size of the army as well. With a good number of Lancers, Abstinency is going for some crossbowmen and more spearmen. Archers and Gilans push way forward. That one archer is also charging an Iron for Glory. Pink has started to pull out some basic walls here, but we've got a nice little harassment force there who ran by those villagers, probably not paying too much attention. Oh, does spot them now. And the stock is not important whatsoever. They're just basically observation posts right now. Pink is following Iphovid. Trade Abstinency Trade is one of the best in the entire game. They have an inherently, what, 33% cost reduction. Out the get-go, it's pretty easy to transition to it. Plus, they do have powerful trade benefits. Oh yeah, Backcot Swap, because it's pretty powerful. 25% increased value here, and as well as another 30% increased value there. Effectively getting them 55% increased value. And not to mention, some extra armor would be quite always handy. Only against these guys here in particular, since would be double effective versus them. Pink's now advancing forward army here. Pink, of course, Abstinency does have access to free improved siege engineers. The villagers here could be picked on off. 3 out of 4 military schools deployed in the field at the moment. It's good damage there. One thing I sort of wish they had in the replay mode is number of military schools in the field. Just give you an idea of their primary economic benefit. Villagers building a wall, sort of. We do have a secondary town center back here. And some of these villagers did not go inside of it, or any of those villagers. Which is now, purple's now pushing over here. Pink is still running away with those villagers. Got a good number of composite bowmen and crossbowmen engaging these lancers. Spearmen and Guillaumes also pursuing them. It looks like these guys are getting distracted on that palisade wall. Composite bowmen won't do much in this flank, but they're doing something. They're probably good against the horse archers, of course. Spearman and crossbowman here. Palisade walls have been built, but they can quickly be torched on down. These palisade walls finally being completed. Still more villagers for Pink, thanks to secondary town center. Lancers cause some issues, however. Right now, the military force are... Pink has a larger military force, but quality is in favor of purple. We've got mostly trash units, archers and spearmen. Crossbones a good counter unit, and only 2 Guillaumes as a power unit. Over here, we've got good numbers of Kenjis, which are 160 each. In comparison to Magadai, Magadai are 150. Of course, costs gold rather than wood, which has its trade-offs. For Mongols, it's probably better it's worth gold, since they are supposed to be a bit more focused on trade. Of course, trade is always not a guarantee, especially for the Mongols. And got these flanking at Kenji, which will take out those villagers as well. Culture Wings almost complete, which will give access to cheaper research. No advanced trade here, but cheaper traders still makes a pretty good transition when the player needs to obtain them. There's also still a decent amount of gold on the map, and we'll have access to incredibly powerful improved processing to get more drop-off on that same gold. And with Culture Wing, the initial technology preservation knowledge should be researched immediately in order to get cheaper technology costs, which will definitely pay for itself. It costs 100 resources, 75 gold, and it will pay for itself with one university technology. Or should I say, what's it called? I still don't know how to pronounce this. Madrasa? Imperial Age now obtained by Pink. Get this research going before any other elite research. It does take 20 seconds when you're trying to get your time attack. It is going to be a bit of a pain. His opponent is going to Istanbul Observatory of 44 villagers, so he's going to really get that going. Lancerns are scout taking out some of these villagers. Got Incendiario, Elite Akinji, and Elite Lancers. So just got a mounted army for the Ottoman player. So Spearman would be a good option. And against the Lancers, crossbowman backline wouldn't be half bad. For Akinji, Spearman of course will have trouble versus them. They would take a lot of extra damage since they're good versus low armored units. So some horsemen, actually some what's the camel archers could be a good support unit, as well as just camel riders. I always forgot. I was thinking camel lancers, but that's of course Ibids. But camel riders could be pretty nice in the situation. Provide the camel an ease debuff, which will affect horse archers as well. Incendiario's Elite Army Tech Research and Tide Runs Research. We've got 2 relics for pink, 3 relics for magenta, purple. More incendiary arrows, as well as angled surfaces, including spyglass. Mangonel's firing a volley there, gets a good hit on these forces. And those are more Pink's forces. Purple's armies coming in the back line. A very powerful lead force. These Mangonels are going to pose a seismic problem for Pink. They will be effective versus the backline range units, as well as not too half bad versus Spearmen. These guys right now doing 18 damage times 2, so incredibly high DPS. Got biology bonus for the Ottoman player. Elite Army Tactics has been researched. Of course, Pink's army is of far lower quality. And there's not too many Lancers running on the field. We do have more Lancers in the build queue for the Ottoman player. We got Camel Riders being deployed in the field, veteran Camel Riders, or they're always veteran. Now we've got Elite Camel Riders being researched, and there's some other camel research here that increases movement speed. Camels improve the movement speed of camel military units by 15%. Let's see, those are archer ranges. Where's the stables? Not sure where Pink's stables are at the moment. He's also seizing that gold deposit. We do see improved processing. More Camel Riders being deployed in the field. We've got level 2 Camel Armor. Increase the armor of Camel Riders by 2. Right now they have 4-3 armor. That's equivalent to 6 or 6-5. Always go for a little bit more. Actually, can't go for any more armor. Always go for biology. They do have inherently pretty high health, and they of course get good bonus damage versus cavalry. And Camel Riders are not classified as heavy. so they will not receive bonus damage from crossbowmen. And the extra armor they've received, they're not too bad versus archers as well, though incendiary archers are not too terribly bad against them still. Abyssal Dynasty hand cannons spawn field, they do get plus 1% health thanks to boot camp, making them extra durable. 2 more melee armor could be researched by Pink, maybe a good idea for the Camel Riders. That'll put them up to what? Like 8 armor? Yep, it would get them up to 8 armor. Biology is being researched. The Camel Unease debuff with a higher armor will make a multiple cost reduction or power reduction from the Kinji, but right now range has been upon. He has gotten the Silk Bow research. But it looks like they are being affected by Camel Unease by some flanking camels. Good number of camel riders on the field. Of course, the increased move speed makes them move as almost fast as horsemen. And a good number of composite bowmen for cost-effective back line, especially their composite bowman upgrade. Great bombard here, it's very fine. Camel Riders also do get plus 10 versus siege, make them pretty handy against them. Though then again, most melee units are pretty handy against siege weapons, in this case a bit more handy. Elon the Spearman managed to connect on those forces. Looks like the mounted archers do get a lot of bonus damage from the archers, which took a lot of hits from them, I should say. Janissary's been playing the field, which would be not a good idea for all the composite bowmen, which he is still constantly building. And now the battery ram will go down. Elite man arms being reached by the Ottoman player, which may not be a bad idea at this moment in time. This army, barring the crossbowman, will be weak to that. But his one is going for a good number of hand cannoneers. Don't think Serpentine Gunpowder has been researched just yet. Camel Unease debuff now being deployed on the field. These Janissaries horse do bonus damage to cavalry, which would be very good versus these Camel Riders. Archers, composite bow needs to make sure they focus down those Janissaries. Great bombard, firing away. It looks like both sides takes the losses. Pink has a much higher destroyed value, over 10,000, and also has a higher army value in the field. The Vizier points went into trade bags as well as back down to military campus. Takes out that unit there. Pink's now containing some stone deposits. There's actually stone being locked out of Pink there as well. Autumn player looks like he's trying to mass reinforcements, mostly the Lancers. And the Autumn player has surrendered. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. On to the next player. Hidden? Hidden? Hidden. Not like I can really find that person. Let's see now. 32 minutes, we're gonna do that one. Let's just take a quick look around, see if there's anything a little bit better. 29 minutes. 27 minutes. Decent number of decent replays. So I could probably eye a second one after this one. I tried been right now to trying to go on to one replay per person. And this one is the best one. It's been a while since I last cast Knights Templar. Most time I see other civs, and I always like to cast Mongol games, because Mongols, in my opinion, are pretty weak. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. I was going to try to say Age of Mythology, my apologies. So on the south side as the Knights Templar, we have question mark. So on the top right side as the Green Mongols, we got Numidian. And this is that really close range map. I have no idea how this is going to go out versus Mongols. Mongols, of course, can't lock this down. He could try aging up to the Cognitive Palace, get some quick pals, and siege down the Templars' headquarters. We also have a barracks not being established here. Mongol player is grabbing up some sheeple. Maybe some Lost Ronin could be quite nice. I have no idea. And looks like he dropped a gear off here and put a village and dropped a sheep there and put a villager next to it. That's interesting. Red's now pushing forward with some spearmans over here. Probably trying to lock down the sacred sites so you can get the pilgrims going. Oh yeah, I forgot about the wolf dens. My apologies. I've completely forgot about the wolf dens existing in this map. Got some ×2 spearmen not being employed in the field. Probably gonna try to clip the wolf den. Local doggos are coming out to play. Huh. Are these wolves a little bit more powerful? Yeah, pack wolves. Very bitey infantry. Yep, these are actually different than other regular wolves, because usually wolves have 3 damage and classifies bitey infantry. But these are very bitey infantry. So let's get the 150 gold there, enough gold to age on up. Green spearmen are pushing their way forward. Of course, the Mongol start's always pretty slow. Trying to torch down this now. Nakhon does have... Okay, this versus huntable animal, which I don't think wolves are classified as that. Try and decapture this merchant camp, which will give access to 15 of each resource. Effectively 1 villager income, which is not too terribly bad. I think the wolf models are actually larger, aren't they, as well? Just give them head pats. Mongol, looks like the Kingdom of France being researched now. We do have the Silver Tree being researched. There's a trade post here. The Kingdom of France will give access to an earlier heavy cavalry, which is relatively similar to the sofas. Silver Tree is also being built next to the Ovo, so we'll have access to the ×2 traders. However, that's just maybe just more of a placing of convenience. I'm not sure if you will actually go for ×2 traders. The abandoned outpost here has not been unabandoned. Right, let's find some sheeple there. Right now we've got 5 spearmen versus 4 hardened spearmen. Forest of Silver Tree is now complete. Not going for a stable here, maybe eyeing for some Keshiks. This map would also dissuade immediate deployment of Keshiks, since the chance of getting some immediate spearmen on the field is nearly guaranteed. First round of Pilgrim has been researched. So potentially every 60 seconds, Red will get 130 gold. We do have a good number of spearmen for both sides. So Red took a lot less damage from the wolves. I think it was a scout who took most damage there. Green does get a good volley there. Green looks like he has better focus firing, even though he starts off with the back foot. Does got one of the red spearmen there, though some of them are dancing around. Nice little bit of micro there, trying to avoid the damage. The con, nope, those are archer reds, so archers pretty forward. Green does lose another spearman there. A pair of Mongol archers deployed in the field. That may have been ×2 archers based on what I can see there. Yep, he's going straight ×2 archers. Spearman pushed forward. Keshik's being pulled in the field to encounter archers. I actually really disagree with that. And I've been thinking about doing an update video to why I think Mongols are not good, or now it's just straight up bad. Keshiks are actually quite inferior to horsemen when trying to fight archers. Thanks to the horseman's very high bonus damage against archers, it's generally just better to pull out horsemen. And right now, he doesn't see anything that would warrant Keshik. The con has gone down there, but the arrow's on cooldown, so not a big issue there. Because right now the Keshik does, if you sort of think about it, the Keshik right now does 15 damage. The Horseman does, what, 9 plus 9, right, against range? So it's 18 damage. Slower attack speed, of course, but with nearly half the cost. And only have a little bit less health, not too bad of a alternative. Archers gain some good damage into each other. Good focus fire there by red and by green. Got a traitor there, very wounded. That may be the wolves, actually. Don't remember the previous traitors took some damage there. Okay, Keshiks are going to gaze the wolves. That's probably a good idea. Another ×2 archer on the build queue. Another Keshik as well. I think as well when it comes to the attack speed, as I was talking about earlier. Against in the higher level play where the archers are microed, the higher attack speed is not always guaranteed against a microed unit. Silver Tree being redeployed just farther back rather than the corner. The corner would result in a little bit higher income, but nothing too bad at the moment. Something that's also a bit of a problem right now is it's not like a great path there. There may be a bit of traversable land there, but it's hard to tell. Keshiks do get a bit of charge damage there, and they get Spear Brace as well. Red right now has 13 archers, the Mongol player is 8, so right now Red has a far superior archer force in the field. Not to mention he does have 20% effective, more effective lumberjacks. While the Mongols only have 2 villager, a little bit more close to 2.5 villager ovo. And seeing there's 20% more effective lumberjacks, that's effectively about 2 more villagers of income as well right now. So the economic differences are relatively similar at the moment. Economic advantages. Of course, this will start expiring pretty soon. 4 more minutes. Also, traders do get a decent path when going to this trade post here, which is good. Putting more in the corner was very useful there. Yep, looks like they're... that wolf there. That's just a regular wolf rather than pack wolf, so 3 damage per bite, but this thing is almost down though. Wolf will procure a kill. Nope, does mean get out of range, but cannot take another bite there. Do we have now some Chevaliers being put of here? Field. They have 14 damage, 2 armor, 160 health. If I remember correctly, as well as our counterpart, the Sofas have 17 damage, less health. Got +1 health for being nearby other units, though. They are 170 as opposed to Sofas, which are 180? Can't remember exactly. Of course, I do have a pack bonus. Arrow there to increase attack speed. And since the Chevaliers do have less armor, they'll take a little extra damage from these archers than, say, a Knight or Keshik. Venison now being obtained. May insert some of these traders. Looks like the 3 health trader did manage to get back on home. Yep, in this case, the Keshiks will be a good counter to the Chevaliers. Khan does not take too much damage at the moment. And now the Keshiks are now engaging those archers. And his archers are getting some good follow-up damage there. Doesn't really matter what the Keshiks attack in this situation, they will be somewhat effective. Archers are hitting the Chevalier maybe a little bit too much. Keshiks trying to push way forward once again, trying to hit these archers once again. Red needs to get out more spearmen. Green has lost a good number of archers there. Green does have a higher destroyed value at the moment. Some of these reinforcements heading down this way, which could be intercepted. Nobody's gone for the abandoned observation post. Something the Mongol player could do. There tend to be trees along this path. And there's a pretty open path there. Red is not walled in this area. Probably should. A handful of Magadai with a scout support would be very useful. What the heck? Look at the mini-map here. Change mini-map size. I can do it like this. I can probably pull this up like that. Okay, I can do it. Oops. Twice. There is a dead spot in the middle of these in this tree deposit somehow. I have no idea how that happened, but it looks like a perfect square on the mini-map. You have now the outpost here, which will improve the moving speed of these nearby heavy units, or heavy Keshiks and all horsemen. Boar has been gored. We do have ×2 pilgrims, so red is going to get 130 gold ×2 every 60 seconds, so 260 gold per minute. Which is a bit of an economic difference too, and the Mongols do have a handful of traders to be a good counterpart, but they're making about 55 gold per trip. Which this will also help speed them up a little bit, so it is a bit of a 2-for-1 right there. Right now, Mongol player has 30 archers versus 36 archers. Of course, whether it's in range or not. Got the arrow there, which help him pierce on through. And red is not getting enough spearmen to stop the Keshiks. Green can take time to shoot these Chevaliers, no problem. Red can't spend time shooting the Keshiks with the archers, though he has good enough numbers there, and the Keshiks weren't there in large numbers. One less armor really does make a difference. 26 versus 30, so green does have superior number. Here the town started firing over well, so it looks like the more Chevaliers do find their way over here. Number of pastures here, not around the oval. Looks like now speak of room for them. Chevaliers has gone down. 3 pastures can effectively support the 9 villagers at the moment. My apologies for my drink open up. Archers now advancing. Good number for both sides. Gets a good free volley there on those Chevaliers. It does take a bit of volume in turn. Chevaliers do get a bit of charge damage. Green Cabal is trying to get some spearmen on the field as well. Keshik's now charging way forward. Fresh Ovo has now been deployed out there. And is in close enough range for pastures. So it'd be a good idea to get some pastures around it. Maybe a blacksmith with improved research. We do also have now the arrow being deployed in the field. Good damage there. Patrick's push way forward. Not too many Chevaliers remaining. Of course, can't get access to the network. Keshik's been cleaned on up. Chevalier is taking some damage as well. Green has a much higher destroy at the moment. Mongol player does not have enough resources to age on up. Red is starting to approach enough resources to age on up. Now got some more patches being put on the field. Keshik does get cleaned up there. In this situation, it may still be better to go for horsemen since he's still using archers to focus down the Chevaliers mostly. Or there's still an argument to be made that horsemen could just be better in this situation. Won't have that increased melee armor, but we'll have roughly the same health. Just a little bit less. And be able to perhaps resist, and would be able to resist not as much archer damage, so maybe not. But easy to mass on up. If he's having trouble getting catches in the field, can always still go for some horsemen. Of course, now got another pair of pastures here. Supported by the Ovo as well, going for wheelbarrow. Do now the arrow upgrade there. Granted as well, the Chevaliers do have a bit of a gold reduction now, don't they? Since they are next to, since he has aged up with the French. Yeah, just a little bit, 4 extra gold less. Looks like we got a decent number of trades in the field. Looks like Silk Road level 2, or Silk Road level 3 has been fully activated. And has a good extra amount of gold income now. Mongol player is really starting to get his trade going. Granted, he only has 1 Yam outpost right now. Can always go for a safer one back here next to a small gold deposit. We're probably going to see the Kurultai. Seeing how much fight's been over here as well, the Kurultai probably the best option. Plus, he doesn't necessarily need gold since he has the trade. Republic Genoa now being researched, which should give him Genoese crossbowman, a mercenary elite crossbowman, which should be good against the Kashyyyks. I also don't know what the other effect will be. Let's see, when it comes to 14 villagers on gold versus 0, so the traders are doing quite well. Veteran Traveliers and Veteran Archer Research. Kurultai now being established, very nice. Not the best position, but you can always just pack up and go to another location. Now it's going to be trying to raid the traders. We also got now the super mobility research there, so these traders will be going down. We do have a couple outposts up here, and Boar has been 25% seized. Trying to save the Kurultai. Maybe important to just go forward now. He has saved the traders. Kurultai has been established and should have good vision in this region. That's the wrong button. The Kurultai, of course, given plus 2% firepower, as was good health regen there. There's fire the arrow there. No whistling arrow upgrade, so it'll be a short buff. In fact, we gain 1 extra arrow in the air. Veteran Keshik and Veteran Archer research now on the way. Veteran Keshik has been researched. Of course, the Veteran Archers get plus 2 damage with their Veteran variant. And now got some Brother Templars now being put on the field. The heavy cavalry for the Knights Templar. Kurultai's been re-established. Plus 1% damage, help even out the differences. 7 damage for 8 damage. Still has 70 health versus 80. The Veteran Archer's almost complete, which put these guys up to what, 10 now damage? Yep, 10 damage for the time frame. Over here, looks like got some Brother Templars hitting the pastures. We have what appears to be 5 pastures in the field. It's going to support a decent number of villagers, but not all of them. So I have to rely on the boar and the berries, which he has. We do now have a gear. This gear could be canceled. Doesn't really need it at the moment. Actually managed to redeploy gear over there. Right now, it looks like I got Brother Templars for heavy cavalry and some veteran archers. The extra gold reduction value from the French upgrade is particularly effective for them. Spring gold upgrades somewhere. We also got some Yalm networks, but you got idea to get the Yalm network research going just so his infantry can move around a little bit faster. Veteran Keshik's engagement, so that's where the spring gold engagement emplacement was. Another outpost here and outpost there. 4,000 gold deposit. Yalm network now being researched. Spring golem emplacement has been set ablaze and will go down, looks like. I don't think the villagers will make back in time to get it repaired. Cash is falling back there. Got the defense area there, getting +2/+2 armor, which make these guys pretty much bulletproof for archers. More Kashyyyks push back forward, trying to redeploy the Kurultai. We're having trouble, just a single guy with a torch can stop the Kurultai from being redeployed. They'll just need to seek some shelter. Kurultai may not be able to be re-established there. More crossbow being pulled in the field is good. He needs a way to deal with those Brother Templars a little bit more effective. Kashyyyks always fall a little bit short on the heavy armor engagements. Kurultai's been re-established there, getting some good health regen there. Simplistic traders may have been caught in the mix of it. Berries being obtained here. A decent number of pasture sheep looks like deployed in the field as well. Not too many, 11 right now. For 4 or 5 pastures, which 2 affected by ovos. Which can support a decent number of villagers. It does have 1 level economic upgrade. And it looks like some of these traders going down. They should have just went up north rather than going down south. Green's trying to spawn to it, but he's going to probably lose all these traders. Right now, Green does have less civilians. Red's cut off a good number of civilians at the moment. Kurultai's trying to be established right here. For the Kurultai right here, their values are roughly similar. Effectively add, since it does provide plus 20% damage, which is half the importance, the other part is health. Directly increase the army value by 10% when that gets deployed in the field. So it's roughly 8,000 versus nearly 10,000 resources on the field. Archers taking getting decent free damage there. Red will retaliate, or Green does retaliate for a decent amount of damage there. Kashyyyks are now engaged, does use defense arrow there, but I don't think the Whistling Arrow research has been completed. Nope, it has not been researched. More Brother Templars push forward. Monk also advancing. Red has obtained 2 relics. Don't see a wall over there? Nope. Yeah, still think the Mongol players should have gone a bit more heavy enforcement versus all these archers. They're just far more cost effective against archers. Let me get my drink in my other hand. Got a Yam tower here, and a good number of Yam towers have been deployed in the field. Spring Gold upgrades being deployed in the field. He just needs more crossbowmen. He is getting more crossbowmen. Kashyyyks pursuing these Brother Templars. Horsemen would be good to summon their unit. Right now, the Mongol players low on wood, or not wood, food. Not super high in gold as well. Pretty much just line the traders at the moment, which will give them some decent amount of trade. But right now, there's 14 in the field. Doesn't even have Silk Road level 3 at them anymore. Castle trying to be deployed in the field, or fortress, to protect the trade posts there. defense arrow there. Does the defense arrow does not have listen arrow activated. Spring gold upgrade being obtained. That was cancel spring gold upgrade to make sure he gets the resources back. Fortress deployed on the field. It looks like the monk is claiming this sacred site there. Red has obtained 4 relics, just leaving a 5th relic left in the field, which is right here. No Shaman's field. We are seeing some traction trebuchets been pulled in the field by Forward Siege workshops. Traction trebuchets have less range, less DPS, higher attack speed. Cash is now engaging. Not too many archers nor crossbowmen back here. The crossbowmen needs to make sure they focus on these Brother Templars. Another traction trebuchet to pull in the field. The Kurultai can provide health regen to the traction trebuchets, but some of the caches do go down. They do quite poorly versus other heavy knights and other heavy cavalry with their lower base damage. They may have slightly higher attack speed, but with the lower base damage makes them have less DPS versus knights and lancers for the cost. And that is the end of the replay. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now. There was some other good replays with him. If they're between 2 different players, I'll cast another one. Usually I've been trying to avoid cast the same person repeatedly, so it makes it easier when uploading videos. Don't have to worry about spreading out the 2 players apart. We could do this one here, 29 minutes, Japanese versus House of Lancaster. Or Zuzi's Legacy in House Lancaster. It's been a while since I've done Zuzi's Legacy, so let's do Zuzi's Legacy. Less common nowadays. Greetings everyone, Angrade here for another Age of Empires 4 replays. On the left side is the Zuzi's Legacy, we got Numidian. On the right side is the Green House of Lancaster, we got WOM01. When it comes to this map design, we do have a decent number of small gold deposits, 1,600, 2 of which, the 2 4,000 spawn next to each other. So this would be a pretty good point of contention here. Also, let's take a better look at the Zuzi's Legacy side because of the meditation gardens. Maybe I'll reach both gold deposits here. Yeah, I don't see many good spots for the Zuzi's Legacy's meditation gardens other than right here. That should be arranged both these gold deposits as those things of wood. But overall, no fantastic location. Could go for a bit of wood and stone. Oh, and House of Lancaster's gone for a bit of Spearman Rush. I was not paying attention to that. Zuzi's Legacy can always go for taxes, get that extra gold, but it'll take a little bit of time there. Oh wait, Zuzi's Legacy also ages up for cheaper, right? I forget the exact cost reduction. Let's see, 170. Okay, so you can probably rely on taxes the last, how much? 4 to 140, so 34 gold he needs to keep by the 28 gold in his pockets. There we go, he has enough tax income there. He needs to collect the taxes and Needs to collect the taxes. He didn't actually collect them up enough. Lancaster Castle being researched. And now he has enough. But this, of course, not a good spot for Meditation Guards. Maybe just go for the Jingen Tower. I do not like that deployment there. It looks like we'll range his other gold deposit. I think it's a little bit too close to the Spearman. Let's just say it's going to be quite disturbed for the resource generation. Of course, this is the town center for firing. It may be just best to sit on the far side, start throwing torches. Got 11 sheeple there for cyan, 12 for green. Lancaster Castle is being built with 2 villagers, and the Meditation Guard is built with 6. Of course, does have faster building, if I remember correctly. Yep, a minute 30 something to 150. A minute 35. I always forget, is that a Chinese bonus or Chinese civilization with sub-civilizations bonus? Either way, the Meditation Gardens are disturbed, so it's hard to say how much income it will provide, so just to check back later. Do you have an archer range? Going for some Zunch news. Lancaster Castle is almost built. Stone there for manors. Maybe a good idea to task a villager to repair up the damage. Won't take too long. Costs a little bit of wood, so not really necessary expenditure at the moment. Does he like to see players going for more scouts? His first scout is, of course, a Chinese scout rather than regular scout. So it looks like now there's professional scouts. Was wondering when that's going to be researched. There is a deer deposit up north, 5 deer deposits, so not a massive one. And Green's might trying to herd these deer towards his castle. Remember as well. Oh, he's actually taking time to kill off the deer for his opponent. That's quite nice of him. Remember as well, in this patch, the deer have been nerfed where they don't jump as far and they don't jump as often, so it's harder to herd deer. The white tower is now being deployed up by green, which also gives him 2 Earl's Guard, help him stop this Zunchnu. Down here as well, there's another 5 deer deposit commingling with Pumbaa there. And oh yeah, the castle only has a single keep arrow, so it's not too particularly high damage, so you can't take time to steal them. That's why he probably killed them. Try to kill them quickly as possible so they don't jump any further. And Cyan will grab a good number of deer before the Earl's Guard can come out and stop them. They can still chase him down. The Zunchus can buy him some time. Right now, 3 unupgraded Zunchus are not going to be too particularly great. Earl's Guard now deployed on the field. House of Lancaster, of course, has aged on up. A lot of good stuff now available to him. The Zuzi's Legacy player has not started to age up. He's also taking time to clean up his deer deposits back here. We got more deer here, so Sign will be eating good. The problem is heavy armored units such as the Earl's Guard are going to be very difficult for him in this age. They have 4 armor, in which Zunshinus can only get up to 5 damage per arrow, so no point in gaining any blacksmith upgrades for either side at this moment. And Cannoneer slits, however, from these outposts are particularly cost effective. One of the best defensive upgrades in the game. I think it's better to go for these rather than to go for Spring Gulls due to how cheap they are. That's just scout, not a big problem. Up north we do have the scout getting shanked by a bunch of or the spearman getting shanked by a bunch of scouts. Does take that one down. Takes out the scout, the spearman there, a whole bunch of scout shots. Got the Earl's Guards advancing. No hand cannoneer slit. The Shaolin monster is now being built. Shaolin monster should be actually quite decent for emergency units there. Crossbone probably the way to go. Yep, the first crossbone build queue as well. Wheelbarrow now being researched by the House of Lancaster. No manners have been established so far this game. Bill's just trying to get a bit of repairs there. Does get Bastion right there. Looks like the crossbone took some damage there from something. Oh, the dagger throws. He used the dagger throws against the crossbone. Of course, I forgot about that part. And it's one of many aspects why the Earl's Guard just straight up superior to man-at-arms. They have a powerful burst attack, and also get additional damage for each keep at no additional cost. And also they have higher movement than other man-at-arms as well. Earl's Guard actually probably do need a nerf of a slight cost increase. The higher mobility makes them very good to accompany spearmen, and of course his yeomen are slightly faster, so able to accompany them a little bit easier. And of course able to accompany crossbone move slower as man-at-arms as well, but not necessarily accompanying them at the same speed. Knight moving around. We do have some Hoblers being employed in the field, a cheaper but weaker horseman variant, which also costs a bit of gold rather than wood. Pumbaa has been disturbed there by green. Knight upon field to stop these scouts. Manor now deployed in the field. 3 out of 3 manors. Zuzi's Legacy has gotten 4 crossbow in the field. Relics, 1 relic's been tamed by green. Monk has gone down. These Hoblers have no additional range armor. Deciding going for range defense first, probably should have gone for range damage first. It looks like he's still not building any more Zunshinus, so guess not really needed. Currently the crossbowmen do 11 damage with a plus 10 versus heavy, doing 21 damage. Earl's Guard of course have 4 armor. So they take 17 damage per bolt. And let's just say my ability to mathematically divide 155 by 17 is not exactly on my normal times tables and times I grew up with. Offhand math, which is just what, they can take 8 hits? Lancers spawn field trying to camp the relics. Shadow monks still do not apply the +1 relic down here. House of Lancaster soon have up to 6 manners available. Oh, in the meditation gardens, let's see, 50 golds and 19 wood, so the small gold deposits still applied plus 25 gold, very nice. So, around 70 resources, so it actually provides a very nice 69 resources per minute. Not as good as a Monster Quarry, but that's just more of a bad math generation at this point in time. So, but extra golden wood never hurts. Good dagger throw there onto that Lancer. Does take him out no problem. Lancers engaging the Hoblars. Earl's Guard pursuing. Got some scouts mixing for Cyan. Crossbowmen and Zoomshoes before quickly instructed by the gate. Sort of wish that the structures, archer units just don't have auto attack on structures, just manual attack. That's actually something you can do in Company Heroes 2 when it comes to prioritize fire in the mod tools. Since it's the same engine, should be simple enough to implement into Age of Empires 4, where there was a flagging set in Company Heroes 2 to turn off all auto attacks against certain targets, what we described to you. So it is possible, if the same rules can still be applied, where you can just allow an A move and not hit to automatically attack any building or wall. But you can always just simply right-click on the structure and force your guys' fire arrows into the structure. There's one piece of venison still there. And now we've got the Veteran Zunch new upgrades and the bolt magazines, giving them a little bit extra range and a little bit anti-light melee damage. Primarily meant for the extra range. They'll just make it picked on off. One of them will draw the short straw, or 2 of them. Did save one of those villagers. Just a scout. Well, the scouts did go down there. The scout's still alive and also still opening here. Spearman upgrades on the way. Do have the precision or Shire leveling research. 14 Shire levy to get access to 14 yeomen. Not a max out levy, but it'll still be as cost effective and also quick. Or somewhat quick. The research itself does take a bit of time. Veteran yeoman upgrade now on the way. Lancers, good number of Lancers on the field. We now got +2 range damage, +2 range armor for Cyan. Green only has +1 range damage at the moment as well. This means his Zunch News, Cyan Zunch News, will be incredibly effective, doing 7 damage times 3. These yeomen will take full damage from them. Not to mention the Spearmen, and not to mention these Hoblars, who only have, which are veterans, so they have 4 range armor, will take 3 damage per bolt, which could be reduced down to 1 damage per bolt. Oh, that monk does go down there, allowing the Shaolin monk to capture the sacred site there. Didn't bash that monk into the head. So, sacred site victory for Cyan. However, there's only 2 sacred sites on the map, and soon this will be a point of contention. Cyan does have higher army value in the field. Billman upgrade has not been researched for green, which shouldn't be too big an issue against Lancers, but would be quite nice. The supporters of Yeoman for the armor stripping effect. Lancers again, nice charge attack there. Not too many spearmen on the field, or green at least here. Zunchdu's firing away, which will be effective versus everything right now. Crossbow straightforward. There's not too many Earl's Guard in the field for the crossbow being effective. Zunchdu's also get a +1 versus light melee, and so his opponent having no additional range armor means they'll not just take 21 damage, they'll actually take 24 damage per volley against the Zunchdu's, which is actually incredibly powerful. That's a good replacement to even Spring Golds at that point in time against Spearmen. Cyan, I think, handily won that fight, has a much higher destroyed value, and has a significantly higher army value. Siege Engineers not being employed in the field, which makes sense. And now green will have access, or Cyan has access to the siege engineers. Now going for some forward battering rams, very nice. You can also develop forward siege towers if you so choose. Right now, Cyan is running low on food in order to age up. Has enough gold to age on up. Green needs a little bit of everything. Just spent all this food on more yeomen, another crossbowman. Down south, that's a green scout there. Cyan scout can engage green scout. That one villager bar going down as well. That's gonna have trouble clicking on it. Villager is down. Got shanked by a scout. Rather than being bashed in the head by a baseball bat. Zhangin Tower now being employed with Zuzi's Legacy, which will give him access to Song Dynasty. I always forget what the dynasties are for Zuzi's Legacy. We got the Billman upgrade now being researched by Green, which will make his Spearman able to support out his Yeoman a little bit more effectively against these Lancers. Does Billman upgrade affect siege weapons? Yes. But no, it doesn't reduce percentage multipliers though. So it does affect reducing the armor from 0 to 0. Precision shot now being, or synchronized shot being researched. Wait, yeah, the Zhangin Tower is the other H2 landmark. I'm sort of surprised it's taking that long to build. Feels like it should be a bit quicker, but now Song Dynasty is now researched. And look at that gold income. I think Cyan may have overdone a gold income. 7 villagers at the moment, though. Oh, has all 5 relics and both sacred sites. So he's getting a lot of pass income. Right now he has 0 gold income and has over 1,000 gold income. Or 0 villager in gold income and still retains over 1,200. Got it. That's what's going on there. It may be a good idea to get to Yuan Dynasty, get out the pagodas. Gotta keep here to help him keep this sacred site there. Cyan has a victory in 6 minutes. And go for another keep there to let him keep both the sacred sites. Maybe not a bad idea to start obtaining this gold deposits here. Another keep could be also very helpful as well. since it's so much valuable resources. Nest of bees now deployed in the field to help engage the whatchamacallit, yeoman. Also, still pretty good generalist. It's only +2 range versus range, while it still has 6 base damage, so it's only 33% more effective versus range units, which is still means 33 or 66% damage, or still, just still very effective against spearmen. The keep is firing away, gunning down multiple spearmans.
Building done. Heat look is good.
Temple of Sun now being obtained by the Zuzi's Legacy player, which will give him some configure bonuses. Which may, let's see, probably Divine Charge for increased Lancer damage could be quite nice. The Divine Haste is not bad. But I have a feeling it's going to be one of those two. Divine Haste will, of course, make his infantry units a bit, and as well as his cavalry units a bit more quicker. Or his infantry move faster, but Divine Charge will give his cavalry plus chunks of damage. Maybe switch to Divine Charge in the middle combat to get the damage going when he doesn't need to increase movement speed to get into conflict. And also saving up for the Elite Crossbowman and Elite Knight for his gold stockpile reserve is also a good idea as well, getting a very powerful timing attack. It would be both multiplied by the Temple of Sun. Right now, Divine Vitality could be quite nice to heal all these forces. I always think players should go for Divine Vitality far more often. Because look all this health regen is missing out. Green right now has an army of 109. Army value is a favorite Cyan though, he has a higher value. More range damage there. This is for the veterans introduced, no veteran crossbowman just yet. Which his opponent doesn't have too many heavy units in the field, so that's a good thing. He has not gone for it. Tithe been researched. Trebuchet's knocking down the keep. Use the Zinchnu or the Nest of Bees to get some good damage on those trebuchets. Outlying units charging forward to their death. The keep will go down. Cyan Scout has pretty good spotting in there, but does get picked on off. Green's heading towards the sacred site there. Cyan's trying to go for another keep here. Green's trying to get a keep here as well. Divine Charge is not active. More Divine Haste, neither active at the moment. And have to see what he's going for. Ah, he actually went for Divine Defense, which for the increased range on his Nest of Bees. Lancers before, good number of villagers took a charge attack there. Sacred Site still in Cyan's hand. Good volley there on those forces. Zinchnu firing away. Great volley there by the Nest of Bees. Nest of Bees are trying to be torched. The hive may go down, but the villagers get all smited by the nest, by the hive. Green's force falling back, another precision shot there with like 3 arrows. Takes out the keep there, that was full destroyed, denies all the stone. Nest of Bees fires there as well. And we've got a minute or minute 20 left. Takes out both those trebuchets there as well. +1 range is being very effective. Divine Defense, in this case, Divine Offense. Takes out that trebuchet as well. Since the trebuchet or the Zinchnu's do siege damage rather than range damage, they're able to really go past all the armor of those siege weapons, or they just do it entirely. And Green has back to the game. It's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started next replay, I do need to utilize the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I am back. Let's see now. Let's find another player. See, I did cast one with him on one look at the other player's side. No match show, but let's just see what is here. Solo rank. 23 minutes. Could do that one. A little bit shorter side. 37 minutes, that seems quite decent. 22 is too short. 23 seconds, perfect. 35 minutes here. We just did House of Lancaster, so maybe not. Seems like House of Lancaster is pretty common. Mulligan's here, so this one seems like a good option to me. 35 minutes, we're still on Ottomans. I already did Ottomans today, so maybe not. Let's do the Mulligan replay. And maybe I for another replay afterwards, but already, that means I would do him 3 times today. Perhaps not. Gotta make sure that put up there. Perfect. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn bottom left side as the orange French, we got Liquid Demu. Spawn top right side as the purple or magenta Mulligans, we got Not Revan, allegedly. Huh. It's just me, or does it seem like there's more gold deposits on this map? Because usually there's, what, 4 on each side? And now there's 10? I thought there was only 8 gold deposits instead of this map. Maybe it's just this, what's it called? Terrain difference. So it spawns 2 extra gold deposits. Because one, there's only 8 gold deposits in the middle rather than the 10. Actually, no, there's more than 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 gold deposits. I could have sworn it was only 8. Maybe there's a map change. Maybe it could be this terrain type. Not sure. Either way, both players are actually, nope, just the Frenchie is eyeing for the venison. Magenta's not eyeing the venison just yet. Of course, got the golden vein there. Map is filled with gold, so it could be. Problem is, the other was a lot of gold, and the trade post is not a good location there to really promote the toll outpost trading. But the Sultani Trade Network release will provide a good defensive fortification, which does have javelins rather than an arrow slip to help protect against the very likely Royal Knights that are going to be popping out relatively soon by the School of Cavalry. Another sheeple there. The French player, of course, can get out some Arbaleteers in Age 3, but the chance of mass Sophos and Mulligan's not necessarily likely. The chance for Arbaleteer mass Arbaleteer is still going to be very likely to be flowing through, regardless not if you're going to fight against mass Sophos now more I think about it. Which could warrant the Fonville Garrison to get the Freeborn Warriors or the Monster Javeliers. Monster Javeliers, if I remember correctly, were nerfed in the previous patch. Rather than providing the Musafati Warrior speed, they now provide the Yeoman Intermediary speed. Of course, seeing some French scouts being pulled up by the School of Cavalry, and professional specimen research, so no early Royal Knight. So this is going to be a little bit different there. We do have Donzo deploying field. He's probably expecting Royal Knights, but simply not going to be the case. I highly doubt the French player is going to steal in this venison, especially when this tree deposit goes up to the cliff side. So the hero deposit can go for is this one here on his side. This one's pretty out in the open as well, so it doesn't have to traverse any forest. This side of the map, I probably just maximize the map when I'm looking at the map here. It is just filled with small tree deposits. You got a forested terrain over here, while on the other side is pretty wide open. So a bit of a contrast between the two sides of the map. Now more forest terrain looks like more in favor for the Mullions to roll off the gold deposits. Does spot the orange scouts there. Donzo gets a good javelin throw there. Professional scouts have now been researched by Orange. So he's just going to go with a safe deer deposit for now. Got a Royal Knight on the field, which can tango with Donzo 1v1, but when it gets a 2v1, it would be a little bit more difficult. Donzo do have more health than Spearman, +1 melee armor versus Spearman. Same damage, but also have the powerful range javelin throw there, which is a little less damage than melee, but still has the plus 100% damage versus cavalry, making a pretty good tool versus poking cavalry. So cavalry have to keep their distance more so against them. We do have some archers being deployed on the field by the French. The last of the venison here has been obtained. Royal Knights, 2 of them on the field. More archers being deployed on the field by the French player.
Si, comprendo. Interferir l'ennemi! Comme Mondes.
Vanguard Scout taking some of these venison has the drop carcass ability, has actually gotten the nope, no professional scout research. Last of venison has been obtained there. Orange now pushes way forward. 2 Royal Knights, not too big of a force here. We do have some sofas here. More cows are rolling on in. Gotta keep those doggies rolling. There's also, of course, like I mentioned beforehand, no traversable path there. So Orange cannot creep around this direction. We've got some basic walls over here as well. Thanks to this bit of patch of forest there helps with the deployment. And it got a bit of something similar here as well. So a lot of friendly force for magenta or purple. I never really know. Some games more of a magenta color, some games more of a purple color. This is definitely a bit more of a purple color. Most time RTSs have more of a magenta color than a purple color, so my apologies if I ever get those two mixed up and you're just angry with me. More cattle ranches being obtained. Still don't know if he's going to go with the Grand Fulani Corral or go for the Fombia Garrison. Both are quite nice. In fact, that he is putting a gap there suggests to me he's going to go the Grand Fulani Corral. Archer does take a bit of damage and does get picked on off. We'll be hitting that other archer there. So if I do have +2 infantry there, it's not really a hard counter. I think just more of a balanced way to balance the sofas out so I don't do a good damage versus cavalry. Take out those archers there, very nice. We do have some horsemen being pulled up by the French. These sofas do move faster than knights, so it can be split off across the warrior scout, or vanguard scout there. Does get picked off there. The Vanguard Scout or the Warrior Scouts do move slower than Horsemen, but faster than Knights. Can't remember if they actually retain that speed initially. By the way, is all of his scouts are now down, for at least for purple. Does pick off a villager there, very nice. Got +1 melee damage, which is free for the French. +1 range damage, not free for the French. Or get +1 range armor when fighting against near the town center. Got the guild hall now being set by the French player.
Tracce, Bove, en queste di battaglia!
We got one Musfati war in the field. Sofa's now advancing. If possible, the French player could eye for some early monks to start grabbing some relics, and these scouts will bring back another round of not bacon but venison. All in the campaign, you can pick up boars with professional scouts. Spearmen or Donzo getting some good damage there onto these archers as they're focused on those villagers. 44 versus 34. Of course, got 20 out of 20 cows inside their cattle ranches, providing a decent amount of income. A couple cows have been tipped over there. Grand Fulani Crowds now being employed in the field. The French, of course, do have faster working town centers, so it does have slightly higher villager production there. With the minus 5 villagers there, so it will effectively be 40 versus 45. That would be the differences there. But now with a 5 villager kill difference, now it's a pretty large difference. Those hard to calculate cows with the Grand Fulani Corral. Each cattle ranch with 3 cows providing 82 food, effectively 2 villagers worth of food. Additionally, with the Grand Fulani Corral, every single cow provide additional 20 food percentage, so add another 50% effectiveness. So with what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do math right now. With 7 corrals, which is 14, more close to 13 villagers food income, plus 20 cows, which is another 10 villagers of food income. So that is roughly approximately plus 27 villager income of food, along with now the 2 mining pits, eventually up to 3. A lot of extra gold income there. So mining economy, even though it has less villagers, is still perfectly fine. If I were to add those all up, we'll just add 30 there. So it's roughly 68 versus 49. Granted, venison does have higher gathering rate as well, so that's something that the French player is also utilizing with the drop-off there. Guild bank is hard to estimate, especially when people don't immediately withdraw from it. Because you don't immediately withdraw from it. It is, of course, an investment. It is, of course, well, it's not a guild bank, it's a guild hall. They should probably just rename the guild bank. Be a little bit more accurate of a name. More venison to be obtained, so that's the last of the venison on the map. We shall free up 5 scouts to do scouting. We've got a good number of arbaleteers being put on the field, be a good counter to the sofas. A number of archers in the field. Sofas do not have the important armor just yet, so they have 4 range armaments. Now they have 6 range armor to really resist the archer fire. Crossbones, they'll still hit like a truck. Or like a horse. Donzo being cleaned on up. Archers and crossbowmen or arbaleteers are backing on off. He's taking a decent amount of losses there. Virginia has a higher to short value. And now we've seen some warrior scouts being employed on the field, which they do not get any bonus damage versus range unless they become veteran warrior scouts, speaking of which that is being researched. Then they will get the plus X amount of damage versus range units, like horsemen. They still not get any bonus armor to help them resist the archer fire, though they still retain very, very high health regen. In fact, they'll get slightly better. The attack speed is also relatively slower than horsemen as well, 2 seconds rather than 1.75.
Dicte votre plaisir.
Scouts push way forward, trying to scout out his opponent. You of course find the enemy, and then some. Obtain this gold mine here and now. Archers and arbaletiers will really get that villager. These scouts will do bonus damage versus these warrior scouts, and thanks to their free black stuff upgrades, they have do 13 damage. Archers and crossbowmen backing on off, using these scouts as bait. Instead of stepping away, losing some archers there. Looks like most of these crossbowmen does manage to get them out of there, though some of them did get trapped there. Veteran Warrior Scout research has been complete, so they do get the +9 versus ranged. And taking a decent amount of damage on Pawn Retreat as well. Purple's now going for some Musavati Warriors, the anti-heavy unit for the Mullions, which also is classified as light melee, so they get countered by their archers. And Warrior Scouts, while they do counter over archers, they also have no inherent armor, as I mentioned beforehand, which means they really receive a lot of bonus damage, or a lot of damage from those archers, so they're not really a good counter to the range, just an okay counter. And it looks like Orange has obtained 4 out of 5 relics. Last one's up here. Orange Horseman has been spotted. Veteran Horseman on the way. Monk there will be intercepted. Looks like Orange will have to make do with 4 relics from 5. Soldiers backing on off away from this formation. Up north, we do have these horsemen getting hit. Looks like I saw a bit of pathing issues right there. Sheeple does go down there. The Warrior Scouts will be healed up very quickly. You can just take a look at this health regen. See, there was a stat there to show health regen, wasn't there? Must have been mistaken. Dawn's Obituary 4 gets good volley onto those horsemen. The gate has been destroyed. So this infrastructure is starting to go down as well. Looks like he has created an opening there for a keep for the cost reduction in the future. Maybe for the Red Palace. No royal gunpowder. Looks like it. 4 horsemen being summoned. Got quite a bit of a choke point here, which does put a bit more advantage towards the range, which is, of course, more in favor to Orange at this moment in time. Crossbowmen for archers firing from background. Of course, got the town center here. Some of these villagers are going to get hit. That force is currently ungarrisoned whatsoever, but still miners can be brought on back. Right now, Orange is a much smaller army than Purple. Destroyed Valors relatively keeping equal to each other. And now we've got a bit of a breakthrough by Magenta. He's holding back the housing there in back choke points. Townsend has now 7 villagers inside. And now we've got a river keep trying to be established there. That's... oh, it's going to be really built up. I have no idea. This does not feel like a good idea to me. He may be Orange being a little desperate. Does have some extra villagers to trade out. The keep looks like will be built no problem. Too many villagers to get inside of that keep, however. So he's going to lose. Orange is getting a little desperate. He's going to be sacking a decent amount of villagers there. Does get the keep built. Purple's going to try to start sieging it down. I have no idea how effective that will be. Of course, we have fully garrison keep. Going for a spring gold upgrade immediately. Taking some decent amount of damage there. Not too many forces left in this region to protect them. 20 villagers are idle, so half the economy is also idle. Does have still the 4 relic income, as I mentioned earlier, and 2 sacred sites. Spring upgrade is being researched. So Purple sells some force over there. The keep's ready to get set ablaze. Purple has 17 wood right there. Has a pretty sizable bank of gold. Insufficient stone. Maybe that spring gold upgrade was sort of bad at all. I don't think it's going to pay for itself and need that stone for the repairs. Looks like he may have bought some stone there. Or, not sure. Bought some stone there. Saves a keep at the last moment. Gets inside. Pops on the far side of it. Keep is still holding, but barely. Villagers pop on the far side once again. And looks like Purple will fall back. He just needs to get this thing not on fire at minimum. Magenta still has a higher to short value, relatively even, but that's half of villagers, literally. Enough gold to age on up, not enough stone to get it not on fire. Does has a villager there, tried to stop it from being on fire. Up here. Going for more Arbaletiers. I think he just needs Spearmen. Even Feudal Wage Spearmen would be pretty good. I don't think he has a barracks in the field, does he? He has a bit of wood, so he can get out with barracks. Repairing the wall, that does make sense. The keep is no longer on fire. Well, I'll just keep that one villager repairing it on up, using the rest of those villagers. Repair it on up. I don't know if stone income's enough to outdo the repairs. Maybe it is. Orange has... looks like all the farms are currently crewed. The lack of villages is still a huge problem. Orange may need the eye for a secondary town center at this moment in time. Maybe another one right here. Girat Bara being deployed in the field. They're rare of the 2 Age 4 landmarks for Magenta, or for Purple, which will give him a bunch of festivals you pay 300 gold for activating. Food rates, unit production speed, or siege damage, both siege weapons and torches. Siege attacks, so that applies to Magnos, which does do siege damage, right? That could be... if it buffs those guys up, that could be quite nice for the Arbaletiers. Maybe just improve siege damage versus buildings for those siege weapons. Can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a very long time since I last saw the Girat Bara. Those are stables for a bit more stability in the Frenchie's life. The keep has not been fully repaired. Stone income has been consumed, and no more stone within its borders. Have to go outside its borders. Warrior Scout upgrade. Elite Warrior Scouts not being deployed in the field. And Orange doesn't have too much wood left in his borders as well. So Orange right now is going to have a bit of trouble. I think he just withdrew from the guild hall. So on gold, has a good amount of gold income. Probably going to go with the Red Palace for some defense. I don't think the Imperial Gunworks, whatever it's called, the College Artillery, would be very useful. Plus 30% damage. It feels like Revolt Twins overkill targets, so plus 30% damage is not useful there. Wait. Cannon and Culverin. After the cannon changes, can the French still deploy out Royal Culverins? Now I'm really stumped. Has Royal Culverins received any changes? I'm just wondering, like, wait a second. You can pull out Cannon and Culverin, but that's largely not the case anymore. He is going to the Red Palace, though. And the extra Arbalest emplacement would be very useful here, and additional town centers get an Arbalest emplacement. But now I'm just wondering, I never realized about the Royal Culverins. Is that still existing? But now the one Arbalest emplacement is now deployed out right here, which is a very effective extra weapon there. Greatly increasing DPS this thing. Warrior Scouts gonna try to push forward. Mass torches looks like. Red Palace is way back here. Hard to really use up here, but I think he wanted some backline defenses, and he gets it. Biology being researched by the Mullion player. We got Cross or Arbaletiers here. We have Gamberson, so 7 melee armor. Elite Warrior Scouts have plus 11 versus range. All this extra infrastructure is going on down, so the orange is re-maxing. It's going to be a bit of a problem right now. Of course, the capital does also have Arbalest placement as well, so a lot of extra defensive weapons are here. It even has less than half villagers now. I wonder if there's a Gear Up Bara active. Something. Food collection. Does it affect the cattle ranches? Maybe. So the Mullion player is going to go straight to Mass Warrior Scout and utilizing the Gear Up Bara to really amp up the food income. So may want to cut back on villager production, also field a larger military force in field. Unity has 4,000 food income with 58 villagers in the field. Incendiary is being researched by the French. Looks like Magenda's still building out villagers. Like I said, I think he should probably cut back on that. Trying to rebuild the infrastructure there. Really needs spearmen. These the Warrior Scouts, another big wave of Warrior Scouts. Moose Fighting Warriors will beat Spearmen 1v1 combat. It's a good company force to help deal with any Royal Knights and Man-at-Arms. Crossbow firing away. The keep is set ablaze and will burn down. Villagers trying to prep the keep now. Keep has gone down. Villagers may be picked off here. French player does have incendiary arrows, but these are not even elite Arbaletiers. Elite Arbaletiers still being researched. We'll take a look at School of Cavalry next. Really needs spearmen. Well, honestly, Man-at-Arms would not be half bad against the Warrior Scouts as well, which is more armor. Warrior Scouts right now have 14 damage, and Man-at-Arms can get up to what, 9 armor? Game for out Elite Arm Tactics, Elite Man-at-Arms will be very effective. We got the Red Palace here, which will rip out these Warrior Scouts no problem. The School of Cavalry has been set ablaze. The capital is taking some damage, but all those places should be just fine. The Red Palace is fully garrisoned. And these Elite Moose Fighting Warriors do 15 damage per moment, which the Elite Arbaletiers do have 8 armor, so they do withstand quite a bit of extra damage. Gamberson's a very powerful upgrade for these Arbaletiers. Magenda's now falling on back. Orange lost a lot of infrastructure, at 46 villagers. That's 1/3 of the villager population, not to mention all the extra gold income and food income from the cows. Orange has a much higher kill value, which is very good. Definitely needs it, but has no real infrastructure to get remax. Going for Horseman. I think this could try go for Stone with the bank. He has withdrawn the gold he had in there. He has needs amount of pile of wood. Sees the Masked Warrior Scout play. The armor attack is not being researched by the Malian player. It looks like there will be an opening there. Does not ghost in time. I mentioned that if they did ghost, it could just torched out in pretty much instant. This opening still exists. Villagers need to get on out of here. This is what, half of villagers? 17 out of 48, so it's a third. Which is patrol over here. Villager has not repaired those walls. It has no keep to hold back the army this time. And the spearmen are probably not, or even just Dark Age variant, not even hardened spearmen. So as mentioned, I keep on saying spearmen would be a great option. It will be a lot of investment just to get them up to speed. At least even get the veteran. And it looks like a good number of these arbiters do get trapped here. He could delete this bit of a small segment if possible, but I'm having even trouble clicking on it. School of Cavalry has been torched, just leaving the capital. The Red Palace will be hard to displace, but yeah, the capital will probably be game over either way for the French. Extra golden come for the monsters now down. More warrior scouts being deployed on the field. Has 24 of them queued on up, with a good number of these body warriors as well. And the School of Cavalry has gone down. Magenta does have the 6-side victory count in his favor, so give him a time. Magenta will win. I don't think there's any way for Orange to mount a counterattack. And Orange is back at the game there. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. And that shall be my last replay for tonight.